Today we are going to learn about linear perspective, a system that allows us to realistically draw three-dimensional space on a two-dimensional surface. Let's get started. Linear perspective mimics how our eyes see. Notice that every time you are outside, there is a line in between the sky and the ground. This is the horizon line. It is always at your eyes level. The position of horizon line depends on your eye position. If you are laying, you always see far more sky than the ground. If you are crouching, you are seeing a bit more ground and little less sky. And if you are standing, the horizon line should be somewhere below the middle. Another thing you can notice is that if you are looking alongside the street and there are people in front of you, their eye level will be approximately the same as yours. So you can approximately use their eye level as horizon line, but of course depends on their height too. So even if you can't see clearly the line between the sky and the ground, because of the buildings, the horizon line is still there. Another thing you can notice is that the street vanishes somewhere in the middle on the horizon line. Other thing we can notice is the vertical lines are parallel. That is essential for 1 and 2 point perspective. In 1 point perspective, some sides of the buildings are parallel to the horizon line or picture plane. Even the crosswalks are parallel to the horizon line. Only one side of the object appears to converge or meet at the point. This is the only one vanishing point in the 1 point perspective. Let's start with the horizon line somewhere in the middle of the paper. Then, in the middle of the paper will be the center of vision point, which will also be vanishing point in this case. We are going to start with the simplest shape, cube. In 1 point perspective, the flat side of the object is facing the viewer. That means that it has right angles, so I will start with one flat rectangle. I can take the corners out of our box to the vanishing point. The lines that move away from us are our Z-line systems. The front plane of the box is made out of X and Y-line systems. Notice that only one line system vanishes to a point, which is why it's 1 point perspective. The X and Y line will always be parallel and perpendicular to the horizon line. To complete the box, we need to decide where it ends by drawing another Y and X line to finish it off. Let me draw a few more boxes on the side of the road. That's right, we can that easily jump to the architectural sketches. By only detailing the boxes you can draw complex pictures, but that's not for today. I will finish those few boxes and draw lines that will mimic the road and the sidewalks, so you can have better understanding what I meant. This is the minimum you should know to draw 1 point perspective. Let me add people to the picture with the same eye level that our viewer has. Lastly, one box above the road, so you can see that it works even above the horizon line. Next thing will be 2-point perspective. We already know about horizon line and the eye levels, that stays the same, but what if our object isn't parallel to the horizon line? The viewer is looking at the edge of the object, in this case building. That means the picture must be 2-point perspective. In this case, the object has 2 vanishing points. We can find them by extending the lines of the object until they cross with the horizon line. Notice that the vertical lines are perpendicular to the horizon, as I said, but there is nothing parallel with the horizon line. Now we can move to drawing 2-point perspective. Again, let's start with the horizon line in the middle of the paper. Then I choose 2 points on the sides of the paper. That will be our vanishing points. I start with a single vertical line that represents the edge of the object, and then draw lines from the top and the bottom towards 2 vanishing points on the horizon line. Draw 2 more vertical lines to define the end of the box, and then take those corners to the vanishing point too. The X and Z line systems vanish to a point, and the Y line remain perpendicular to the horizon line. Notice that 2 line systems vanish to the vanishing points. That's why this is a 2-point perspective. Let me draw one more box with the same angle right next to this one. I can use the same vanishing points, but there is one very important thing. Let me take another paper to show you how those boxes look from above. Our viewer stays here, and he's looking from this direction, therefore those 2 lines from him. Now from up here, the boxes will look like rectangles, and the lines of the boxes are parallel to each other. That is why we can use the same vanishing points. But what if there is a third box rotated? That means that this box has to have its own vanishing points. Let me show you in practice. Let's start again with the vertical corner line, and then create 2 new vanishing points from this box. Now we can complete this one, same as we did the ones before. Unlike in 1-point perspective, in 2-point perspective you can have as many angled objects differently to the viewer as you want, as long as they have their own 2 sets of vanishing points. I will show it to you on few more boxes. When placing your vanishing points, be careful not to place them too close together. While there is nothing technically incorrect, the object will look distorted. I will make few lines on the ground that will represent street and sidewalks. Now I'm adding people to the same eye level, and then few more boxes so you can get better understanding on how it works. I will cover the 3-point perspective in another video. Let me know if there's anything that you didn't understand, or about any other techniques that I used in this video. Also, if you have any other questions, leave comments below. If this video helped you, consider subscribing or hit the like button so I can make more videos about what you want to see. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.